Hello, ATD family. Welcome back to Across Time Dialogue, where the past and the present collide. On this show, we bring Bible women out of the Bible pages into real-life conversations. Today's guest, an intelligent woman who married a not-so-wise husband. She proved that wisdom is louder than ego, discernment is sexier than drama, and humility saves lives. No Instagram, no Facebook, but her wisdom has gone viral over the years. Please welcome Miss Abigail. Miss Abigail, before we get into your wisdom masterclass, let us set the stage. You are married to Nabal, bride price paid, wedding, the whole 9 yards, right? Scripture does not mince words here. It literally calls your husband harsh and foolish. No offense, but offense.
Relax, Lily. None taken. If the Bible itself calls your husband foolish, you don't need Yelp reviews. Ladies, sometimes it is what it is. There are some foolish husbands out there.
So here's the situation on the ground. David and his men protect your husband's property. David and his crew are hungrier than construction workers, and David politely asks for food. Nabal responds with massive disrespect, topped with arrogance. With a huge frown on his face, basically says, "Who is David?"
Immediately he said that. David grabs his sword. Yes, I saw blood spilling in front of me. My heart started beating like a washing machine on spin cycle. That was the moment when one man's pride almost wiped out an entire household.
Miss Abigail, you are already preaching now. Why do you think the servants came to you first and not Nabal? Side note, there were no cell phones then, so all this communication was via human messengers.
I guess the messengers as knew who could handle pressure better between me and Nabal. You know, he was a wealthy man who was emotionally unstable because he was so harsh and arrogant. You know, wisdom makes noise without raising its voice, Lily. That's why.
Wisdom just leaks out of you. Miss Abigail, it is written that at that very moment, you packed 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 sheep already dressed, 5 roasted seahs of grain, 100 clusters of raisins, 200 cakes of figs, and loaded them on a donkey. That is a lot of food. So instead of panicking or arguing, you acted swiftly.
Yes, I had to work swiftly. Discernment knows when to pray and when to pack bread. I said to myself, we're not dying over foolishness today. I didn't even tell my husband, because I knew David was coming to unalive us.
So you didn't just pack food, you decided to go back to David with the messengers? Were you not scared? Tell us about how that meeting went down.
I was calm on the outside, but panicking on the inside. As soon as I set eyes on him, I bowed before him and apologized for what my scoundrel of a husband had said. I chose peace and humbled myself and asked that he does not cause any bloodshed. Thank God he understood and heeded my voice.
They say a soft answer quietens anger, and I guess you did that. The food may have also added to his leniency. A hungry man is an angry man. I am sure David was mesmerized by your beauty, too.
David did marry me later on. On that day, I reminded him who God called him to be. Wise people don't just calm storms, they redirect. You will not believe what happened when I got back home to Nabal.
Tell us, what happened? Considering how harsh you said he was, that was another volcano waiting to erupt.
He was having a good time, drinking and feasting like a king. He was too drunk for me to update him on the happenings earlier. In the morning, when he was sober, I unraveled the story, and his heart could not take it and had a heart attack. He died 10 days later. I became a widow.
You have been through a lot, Miss Abigail. You said earlier that David married you. Is this when your relationship with David started? Your story could be a series on Netflix.
Yes, as soon as he heard about Nabal's death, He proposed, and I became his wife. I came out of a foolish household into a future king.
If there is anything this episode has taught us, is that you don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most powerful. Sometimes the person who saves the day isn't holding a weapon, but she is holding discernment. Miss Abigail, what are your parting words for women who are married to husbands who are harsh, who are emotionally unstable, and lack wisdom?
Thank you, Lily, for inviting me here. I think women who have harsh and unwise husbands are most likely victims of emotional and sometimes physical violence. I would like to say to them, if you feel unsafe, start thinking of an exit strategy to a safer place. Seek counseling after that. I did love my husband, but I didn't love his personality, and it almost cost us our lives. You are not alone. Seek help.
That was powerful, Miss Abigail. People let us be kind to each other and have our arms and hearts ready to assist victims of violence. This brings us to the end of this episode based on 1 Samuel chapter 25. Head to the comments section and tell us how you or someone you know escaped domestic violence. Sharing is caring. Until next time, bye!